You ever just have a thought pop into your head out of nowhere, and then it plays out exactly in real life?
Yeah, but not like actually hearing some clear message about the future. That's on another level.
Today, we're picking apart how those so-called precognitive voices could even happen. Bias, weird brain tricks, or something else entirely.
We're asking the big question. Can you actually see the future? Or is it just coincidence and a trick of the mind?
This is The Voice That Knew, a skeptic's journey into precognition.
We are digging into the science, the stories, and the absolute weirdness of it all.
We've got 20 episodes to figure this out together. You're not going to want to miss where this ends up.
Welcome, everyone. We're glad you decided to join us.
Let's go.
Okay, so we've talked about these incredible stories of people hearing a voice, a clear, waking announcement of something that then happens.
Exactly. And the most powerful part isn't just the story itself, it's the feeling of absolute certainty that comes with it. It doesn't feel like a thought, it feels real, external.
Right. People say they looked around to see who said it. It's that convincing. So how do we even begin to unpack that from a scientific perspective without just dismissing it?
That's the critical question. The goal isn't to invalidate the experience, which is 100% real for the person having it. The goal is to understand the machinery behind it. And psychologists point to a whole toolkit of cognitive mechanisms that can work together to construct these profound moments.
A toolkit. Okay, so it's not just one single explanation.
Almost never. It's more like a cascade of processes, some happening long after the event, shaping our memory of it, and others happening in the moment, actually generating the perception itself.
Let's start with what happens after. You hear a voice, an event happens, and then what? How does my brain process that?
Then our incredibly powerful but notoriously unreliable memory systems get to work. The most famous culprit here is confirmation bias. We are wired to remember the hits and forget the misses.
So I might have 1,000 weird random thoughts a day, but I only remember the one that weirdly came true.
Precisely. And research shows this is especially strong for emotionally charged topics. A 2003 study in the Journal of Parapsychology found people predisposed to paranormal beliefs were significantly better at remembering hits in telepathy-style tasks. Our beliefs actively filter what we store in memory.
But what if the voice was super specific? It wasn't just a vague feeling. It was, there's been an accident on the bridge.
That's where selective memory and hindsight bias come in. After you learn about the accident, your memory of the voice might unconsciously sharpen. What was maybe a fleeting thought, hope there's no accident, can get retroactively edited into a clear, prophetic announcement. Your brain tries to make the world make sense.
Huh. And another thing I've noticed, sometimes when you learn a new word, you suddenly see it everywhere.
Yes, that's the frequency illusion, or Baader-Meinhof phenomenon. It's a combination of selective attention and confirmation bias. Once your brain tags that precognitive voice as significant, it raises its profile. Any correlating event becomes hypervisible, reinforcing the hit and making it feel far more statistically significant than it actually is.
Okay, so memory can play tricks on us after the fact. I get that. But that doesn't explain the experience in the moment. Hearing a voice that sounds like it's coming from outside your own head.
Now we're moving from the memory editor to the source code of perception itself. A leading theory here is about source monitoring bias. It's the brain's process for tagging where a piece of information came from. Did I think it? Did I read it? Or did I hear it?
And that can just fail?
It can. Research from the late 90s, like a key paper in PubMed, showed that people who hear voices are more likely to misattribute their own internal thoughts to an external source. It's like the little "made in my brain" tag gets left off an idea. so the brain assumes it must have come from the outside world.
Wait, so my own inner voice could be mislabeled as an external one. Why would my brain do that?
Well, this connects to a concept we touched on in a previous episode, predictive coding. Think of your brain as a prediction machine, constantly generating models of what it expects to see, hear, and feel to save energy.
It's like autocomplete for reality.
A perfect analogy. And sometimes that autocomplete can get a bit aggressive. If you have a strong prior belief or expectation, maybe an unconscious anxiety about something, the brain can generate a perception that matches that expectation, overriding the actual sensory data, which is silence.
So it predicts a sound so strongly, it actually hears it?
Exactly. A recent 2024 study in PubMed confirmed this, showing that in healthy people, stronger expectations led to more false auditory perceptions. And other research points to neurobiology, increased resting state activity in the auditory cortex. Essentially, the part of your brain for hearing is already buzzing, making it easier to mistake internal noise for an external signal.
That is unsettling. That my own brain can just invent a voice that feels completely real.
It is, but it's important to know this happens on a continuum. Studies show about 15% of the general population has had an anomalous auditory experience. It's not necessarily a sign of pathology, it's just a sign of how complex our perceptual systems are.
Are there certain times when this is more likely to happen? I mean, are you more prone to this when you're tired or stressed?
Absolutely. This brings us to the fertile ground of boundary states of consciousness, specifically hypnagogic and hypnopompic states.
Okay, break those down for me.
Hypnagogic is the state just as you're falling asleep. Pompic is right as you're waking up. In these moments, the brain's normal rules don't quite apply. You get this incredible mix of dreamlike imagery and waking awareness.
I think I've experienced that. Like hearing someone call my name right as I'm drifting off.
It's extremely common. A large-scale longitudinal study cited in the journal Sleep found that about 11.7% of people reported hypnagogic hallucinations in a given year. And these aren't just vague feelings. They can be vivid, clear, auditory events that feel completely real.
And this could happen during the day? Like a microsleep I'm not even aware of?
That's a strong possibility. A moment of extreme fatigue, a brief daydream, your brain can dip into this hypnagogue state, as one paper calls it, where the source monitoring gets fuzzy, and an internally generated thought can pop into your consciousness as a fully formed, external-sounding voice.
Okay, so we have memory biases, perceptual generation, and sleep-wake states. What about that classic gut feeling? Is that related?
That's a great question, and it brings up a different, though related mechanism, somatic markers. This is a theory from neuroscientist Antonio Damasio.
Somatic as in body. So these are body feelings.
Exactly. The idea is that your brain outsources some of its risk assessment to your body. Past emotional experiences create physiological tags, a knot in your stomach, a tightness in your chest. When you face a similar situation, your brain reads that bodily feeling as an intuitive warning or go-ahead signal before you're consciously aware of why.
So it's a form of unconscious pattern recognition that manifests as a physical sensation.
Yes. Now, it's crucial to note that the research we found didn't draw a direct line connecting somatic markers to precognitive auditory experiences. They seem to be two different phenomena. One is a gut feeling, a bodily intuition. The other is a highly specific external-sounding voice. They're both forms of knowing without knowing how you know, but likely use different neural pathways.
This is a really compelling set of explanations for how the brain could construct the experience of a prophetic voice. But here's the part I can't get past. What about when they're right?
And that is the million-dollar question. This is where we have to be really honest about the limits of what science can currently explain. We have solid theories for the subjective experience, the hallucination itself.
but not for the accuracy, especially for those really specific cases, the ones with names, places, and events the person couldn't possibly know about, where they even check and find out it hasn't happened yet.
Correct. Our search for psychological explanations for accurate precognitive auditory events in healthy individuals came up empty. Mainstream science can point to coincidence, unconscious information processing, or memory errors, but those explanations can feel unsatisfying when confronted with a truly baffling and verified case.
So there's a gap. We can explain the voice, but not the information it carries. Information is genuinely novel and accurate.
There's a gap, and it's a fascinating, deeply uncomfortable gap for a purely materialist worldview. It leaves us with a choice. Either these incredible coincidences are statistically inevitable, even if they feel impossible, or our understanding of consciousness and time is still missing a pretty major piece of the puzzle.